And welcome back, and thank you for tuning in again. So, this is the second part and a continuation of what I was saying about my book, Pure Observation, a fair review of the Amityville legend. So, yeah, I'd really like to get it across that I'm not trying to force opinions or beliefs on anyone, and that I'm not here to pretend even to know all the information, to know everything that's out there to be known, because I don't. And there are people out there with a hell of a lot more knowledge than me, and these tend to be great people who are willing to talk about it and share it, and it all kind of gels together after a while. Now, a big part of this for me was joining a Facebook group, maybe just over 2 years ago now. It was around about the time of COVID and the lockdown that I joined this group called The Real Amityville Horror. I've since become an admin for the group, and well, hopefully, according to most members, I tend to do a good job of helping to run the group. And I feel that it's largely because I do keep things fair. I don't discriminate anyone's beliefs. I don't tell anyone what to believe. I will always say, if you don't believe this is a true story, that's cool, that's fine, that's entirely your choice. But please don't come into this group to be nasty about it. Please don't come here and use this as a platform to rant your negative and cynical opinions, because at the end of the day, that's what they are, is opinions. None of us really know the facts. But throughout this group, we do come across certain characters who do like to come in and, dare I use that modern term, troll. Yeah, it's as though they just want to come in there and it's like they just want to spoil it. And so this is why we agreed between the admins that we would change this group to be quite unique and different from the others in the way that we don't accept or tolerate pro hoax preaching or anything like that. It's not saying that everyone has to agree and everyone has to believe the same things, because I've said before that that's near on impossible for everyone to believe the same things, because we've all got our own views, we've all got our own beliefs, and it's all from our own individual background, the things that we've read and learnt and studied and researched over the years in different ways at different times. So even the ones of us who do agree and believe that there is truth at the heart of the Lutz story, we'll still all have our own individual and different views of what happened and how it happened. Because one thing we will all agree on is that none of us were there. And so we can only go on things that we find out and information that we obtain from various sources. And the thing that, we're very, very open to people who come along and say, well, I think it was a great story, but I don't believe it really happened. I don't really believe in things like that. But as long as they're kind, considerate, and respectful, and they're not trashing it, then that's all okay. Of course it is. It's great. We've even got people who don't believe in the paranormal at all, yet they will still come from a very kind place of saying, well, I don't believe in the paranormal, but I do believe that that family believed that something was going on and they were genuinely scared by something. So, in that respect, I don't believe that they created a hoax. And so, we can all gel together. We can all agree without people being very aggressive and causing great fallouts over something like this. I mean, it is very, very unnecessary at the end of the day. And as I said, that is, partly, well, largely what the book is about. It's about saying to some people, well, instead of just saying, yeah, I heard this, so it must be true, let's just look at other angles and let's try to be kind. Let's try to be, nice about things. Let's not try to demonize people for what you think or believe, isn't true. If you don't believe it's true, then that's fine. That's up to you, but there's no reason to jump on some kind of a bandwagon to attack people. Now, the other thing that I really do like to get across in relation to this story, this legend, is that it's something that you can't always, kind of say for sure, how it happened, why it happened, etc., etc. We can't always, be on the same wavelength, but just because a book and a film was proved to have flaws doesn't mean that it didn't come from a true essence initially. I mean, let's look at numerous other true stories, not just horror stories, not just paranormal stories, that are all put out in books and films and all sorts. But we know that that's not an accurate story that we're viewing or reading. And so we always have to give, just that little bit of consideration there. Now, the thing that I do put across very, very strongly, and again, I'm not insisting, I'm not demanding that anyone, sort of follows me on this, but let's really look at a lot of the hoax accusations and hoax theories that have been presented over the years. Now, I won't say they're all complete nonsense because that's not my place to say that. But what I will say is many of the hoax theories are flawed. None of them are actually proving anything, not completely, or some not even in part. They're not proving anything. Sometimes what we get is a very angry protest from someone who's saying, "Yeah, this is all rubbish," and it's all untrue because they want to get noticed for saying, "Yeah, I proved that none of this was true," but they haven't offered anything substantial. They haven't offered anything that, makes everyone believe the same things. And when we look at, some of the big hoax theories, let's say the story, a well-known story, the William Weber input, that it's like that lawyer got involved and said, "Oh, this is all a hoax," later on. Well, we need to look at that in a few different ways, really. We don't just want to say, "Yeah, he said it was fake, so that's it." There's a lot more you can look at if you take the time to. You know, then we have the notorious case of Stephen Kaplan, who really, really made it his life's mission to destroy that story and destroy that family, when in actual fact what we ended up with was something that was very, very inconclusive, an awful lot of looking around the parameter and picking on details, picking out certain things that were really flaws in the book, not actual claims from the family themselves. Yeah, so these are the kind of fairer ways that I like to encourage people to look at these things. Yeah. But as I say, I don't for 1 minute believe that the Jay Anson book is accurate. I used to. I used to think that it was, that was it, that was the real deal, that was it. I've since learned that, it really isn't. We're looking at something that was created by this man for entertainment, and good grief, he did a great job. He created one of the best-selling books ever, but he actually took a lot of recorded accounts from that family. I don't believe he ever actually met them, and he put this together and created a masterpiece, a horror masterpiece. But what he didn't do was tell an accurate story. He got dates and details and one or two things wrong. He added embellishments that, all went against the whole thing's authenticity in time to come. But I always say, when we're just bringing it down to what the family themselves claimed, we're looking at something that's not that far-fetched. We've heard, other true claims of paranormal experiences around the world since then. They're far more elaborate, and yet they don't seem to receive the same attacks. Yeah? So I'm going to leave it there just for now. I want to keep this in reasonably bite-sized chunks, and I will be back with more. And I will be talking about my other book on this subject before too long. Thank you for watching. Many blessings.